From the Mumbai studios of Republic TV, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Good evening and welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, in the last salute and the final farewell to General Bipin Rawat, Mrs. Madhulika Rawat, Brigadier Lidda, and in fact all the heroes who died in uniform in the chopper crash while serving the nation, and also in the emotional send-off and the outpouring of sentiment, an expression of pride from the entire country at the life and the service of General Bipin Rawat. Beneath all of this lies a bigger story. As you hear that gun salute, viewers, we also need to think of that story. It is a story we must not fail to read. And that story is exemplified in two words. It reads thus: forces first, no compromise. Nation first, no compromise. And we may not say this, you and I, or see this on a daily basis, or even for that matter express it. But truly the events of the last 2.5 days and the way in which the people of India have come together after this tragedy reminds us all of the pride, and if I may say so, the love and the bonding we have for and towards our forces, towards the Indian military. Therefore, to the cynics and the naysayers, whose only job is to daily question the uniform, to try and put questions on people in uniform serving the country, to try and diminish their sacrifice and their service, I say to them today, see the forces exemplified in the tall image of General Bipin Rawat and see for yourself the love that the people of India have for the forces, and realize that this great nation of ours, united by the spirit of nationalism symbolized best by our forces, lives nation first and breathes nation first. We do forces first, nation first. We mean it when we say it. For us, these are not words. We live these words. And the people who do these quick analysis of acts that question the nation must instead do a profound analysis of how India came together in this moment of deep tragedy, in this moment of loss, and how the country came together to say to the memory of General Bipin Rawat that while we may not have the privilege to serve the country by wearing the uniform, we are all swathed and surrounded in the spirit of the uniform and what it represents. Nation first and forces first. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very important that all of us introspect today about the way the country bade farewell to General Bipin Rawat, about this collective salute that the country expressed towards General Bipin Rawat. And that's why today in Debate 1 tonight, I'm not really debating this subject. I'm just reflecting upon what this means. It's a special discussion today. The collective salute of the country is a reality check for the anti-forces, anti-military lobby. That's my only debate tonight. And at 10 o'clock tonight, viewers, we are looking at the entire journey, in case you missed our coverage through the day, the final journey of General Bipin Rawat through the entire day today. That's a special. And here are the headlines this Friday evening on the debate tonight. All the brave hearts who laid down their lives have united India like never before. The nation salutes General Bipin Rawat as he's cremated with full military honors, along with Mrs. Madhulika Rawat.
जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा,
बिपिन जी का नाम रहेगा,
बिपिन जी अमर रहे,
अमर रहे, अमर रहे।
Unprecedented scenes as thousands line up on the streets to pay tribute to our brave hearts. Bharat Mata ki Jai chants echo across India. That's why, for us, it is always nation first and forces first. Highly decorated officer Brigadier Liddar laid to rest. His daughter performs the last rites with a powerful message. And the Coonoor crash investigation gathers pace. The Indian Air Force says don't speculate. The facts will be out soon. And ladies and gentlemen, never before have we seen so many people like this take to the streets, march in their cities, their towns and villages, join a procession and salute a national hero. The tribute to General Bipin Rawat has been a tribute by a billion, divided by things like region, religion and belief, but united in their faith and in their love for the forces. Tonight, these images that will fill our hearts with both collective sorrow and great collective pride are a testament to stand for the forces. Here is the moving last salute to General Rawat, and then we shall discuss.
With 17-gun salute, General Bipin Rawat was cremated at Brar Square in New Delhi.
बिपिन जी का नाम रहेगा,
जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा,
बिपिन जी का नाम
But his final journey has been unparalleled.
अमर रहे, अमर रहे।
The entire nation mourned the loss of General Bipin Rawat and Mrs. Madhulika Rawat. It was a moment of collective nationalism. Chants of Vande Mataram reverberated in the air as India delivered the last salute with a heavy heart. Thousands marched on the streets and lined up at the Brar Square crematorium in Delhi cantonment. People from all walks came together to mark their affection and regard to the forces for General Rawat. From senior citizens to young students, the outpouring of love and respect was the greatest binding force. From Amroha to Kashmir,
candlelight vigil today was organized here at the Badami Bagh, the Chinar Corps headquarters, in memory of General Bipin Rawat. In fact, the homage was paid to him not only by Lieutenant General D.P. Pandey or for that matter IGP Kashmir Vijay Kumar, but we also saw the civilians in huge number and also the friends of General Rawat who paid respects, and people in Kashmir are really missing him and the kind of policies that he had put in place as far as the peace in Jammu and Kashmir is concerned.
Floral tributes from Jammu to Tamil Nadu, to prayers in Varanasi and Machal.
बिक्रम सिंह रावत साहब को श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए इकट्ठा हुए हैं.
The unparalleled tribute for the Chief of Defence Staff is the ultimate proof of the faith India has, the trust India places, and the belief the people of India continue to have in our forces. The glorious legacy of honour, of courage, of valour, and of supreme sacrifice lives on. A billion stand with our forces. A billion remain eternally indebted. A billion salute General Rawat.
We have a wonderful panel with us today, and those on our panel have personal memories, of course, many of them of General Bipin Rawat, and many would also be looking very closely at the visuals today, which as I began saying, is symbolic of the trust and the love that one entrusts to the forces, and it is symbolic also of the nationalism that courses through the veins of a billion. And I think these visuals are a clear answer, Gaurav Arya, to all the people who on a daily basis make a job of questioning the forces. Today, actually, Gaurav, I want to start with you by saying, you see these pictures when people go, congregations on the street, people chanting, Jab tak Suraj Chand Rahega, Bipin Ji ka Ram Rahega, civilians showing this kind of solidarity and support, visuals of people running alongside the cortege with the Tiranga in their hand. If you see the pictures of all the patriots who are running alongside the vehicles carrying the caskets of General Bipin Rawat and Mrs. Madhulika Rawat while it was being taken to Brar Square, you saw, Gaurav, how they were carrying the tricolour as a mark of respect for the late CDS. I think there's a story here. I want to start with you, Gaurav. Yes, please.
Thank you, Arnab. Arnab, it was only in 1999 in Lucknow that I saw personally such a massive outpouring of grief. That is when Captain Manoj Pandey was being taken for the last rites in Lucknow. Arnab, at this scale, the public outpouring, there was an image that I tweeted today of a cobbler, a poor cobbler, who had put a chair and, he had put General Rawat's photograph surrounded by candles. General Rawat touched all of us in different ways. And it's very difficult to even imagine, even understand how everybody in India, from children to the elderly, there was that video of that aged lady who broke down, possibly not even related to General Rawat, people coming from afar. I don't know what this is, if not an outpouring, a collective outpouring of a nationalism of a billion people. And General Bipin Rawat being a symbol, an enduring symbol of that nationalism.
Absolutely. And we have all these questions people ask about Bharat Mata Ki Jai, Vande Mataram. Before I go across to our next guest, General K.R. Rao, I just want to say this, viewers, I want to run the next set of pictures. Look at the visuals of common citizens chanting, raising chants of Bharat Mata Ki Jai, Vande Mataram, as the funeral procession reaches the Brar Square crematorium in the Delhi cantonment. Then, the message is the collective nationalism of this country can never be questioned or severed. I'd like to go to Lieutenant General K.R. Rao, former Director General of the Artillery of the Indian Army, sir. Good evening. I'm sure you're seeing these pictures. 1,000 thoughts must be going through your mind as well. To you, sir.
I think it's a very, very sad day, a black day for the armed forces. Not just for the Army, Navy, Air Force, because he is the first Chief of Defence Staff. And the tragic circumstances under which he martyred is something very rarely heard of. And that too, the senior-most officer, the leader of the entire Indian Armed Forces, being taken away or snatched away is something which was certainly unexpected. One.
Yep.
And Bipin Rawat, I mean, being a friend, I always used to call him, hi Bipin, how are you and all that. We had the fortune of serving together in 2 years in the military secretary's branch. When I was a deputy MS, he was there. And one never really thought that Bipin will go this way. And when you look at the fervor, national fervor which is in there, you know, whether you call it unity and diversity across all religions, all political parties, all ages.
Yep.
Some people reaching out, even I can see those flags which are being fluttering all across, irrespective of political parties.
Absolutely.
I think that is something which he really sent a message across as the Chief of Defence Staff.
Yeah.
Irrespective of whatever he thought in his mind and whether it was being put through or not, he made one thing very clear. Patriotism at the best must be exemplarily shown by the Chief of Defence Staff.
Yeah.
Whenever he spoke, whomever he spoke, I think he always made it very, very clear. And recently we had these issues with China. And that is the time we could see that stern leadership in him and courage of conviction.
True.
To talk, to speak it out, rather than, cow down and say, look here, we are going to be cowed down by some particular nation. And he knew that he is the man who's got to lead the entire nation in a positive thinking, in an offensive thinking, and not a defensive set of mind. And it is very unfortunate the way he has left us, and at a very critical juncture in many ways.
Absolutely, General Rao. I'd like to play the next set of visuals because pictures actually tell the whole story, I don't even need to describe it. As they say, pictures are so transparent. There are visuals of an elderly lady who came to pay her last respects. And I know people who just went there to pay their last respects. I'm not taking the, first of all, if you see these pictures, they run them full frame viewers. Ordinary citizens turned up today, citizens, civilians, men, women, children, they just came there to pay their last respects. It is unbelievable, this is phenomenal. We have not seen this, and what it tells us is that people in our country, we love our forces. In other countries, people fear the forces. In our country, people love the forces. Love the forces. I have stood in airports where I have people in uniform coming down to serve, and I have seen, look at this lady, the way she's sobbing, breaking down. You see this? It's just, this is connect, and this is service. It's something which General Rawat earned in his time. It is truly this. We are all so moved by this. Nobody can break this love and this faith. General DP Watts, who in fact is a member also Parliament of the Rajya Sabha now, and he met General Rawat, if I am not mistaken, in Parliament just 2 days before the crash. General Rawat was there on the 6th for some official work. Can you tell us about your meeting and your thoughts today? General DP Watts, please.
Arnav, in fact, General Rawat and myself, we were in touch with each other for the last 3.5 years, and very regularly, because I am member Defence Standing Committee, and he being CDS and he being Secretary DMA, he was regularly coming to these meetings. And there not only me, but complete Defence Standing Committee was mighty impressed with General Rawat's presentations, his logic, and his presentations reflected his personality and mentality. Now you asked me, I met him last on 6th, and I never knew that it is my last salute to my friend who had residual life only of 1.5 days. He came to Parliament to meet the Minister of Finance, and I saw the vehicle parked in front of gate number 12, and I waited just 2 minutes and he appeared. I asked him, how come you are here? He mentioned to me that he met the Minister of Finance, and then of course media people surrounded him, and they were asking, he must have met the Home Minister because of the Nagaland incident, this incident. What I know of General Rawat, first what you are telling about the visuals, I have seen these on ground today. I went to his house to pay my last tributes to him, and then I went to attend the funeral also. I never saw people going so, I must say, so emotional about a soldier. Of course, what was mentioned by Gaurav Arya, that Manoj Pandey's funeral in Lucknow was also a replica of what we are seeing today. And in Haryana also, people come in quite a big numbers to attend the Shaheed's funerals. But General Rawat had a special place in the hearts of people. I have seen them running with the vehicles and all the way, 12 kilometers. And when I entered the Broad Square, people with tricolor. This tricolor is in fact a unifying factor like Indian Armed Forces.
Yep.
As far as General Rawat's personality is concerned, I will say he was a physically fit, mentally alert and morally upright officer. And he deservingly rose to the position what he departed from a military family, fourth generation soldier, very well groomed, and passed through a pipeline from a second lieutenant to become the CDS. I remember one incident in a COVID crisis. I had advocated, rather in Parliament, I demanded gallantry awards for doctors, nurses and these frontline corona warriors, because if we take it to be a biological warfare, then certainly they are the warriors. And General Rawat told me that many medicals have been awarded. I just told him, sir, these awards, like General Rawat himself was PVSM, and PVSM is equivalent to Padam Bhushan. I told these are to senior officers, but I want the awards for the officers, for the nurses, for the paramedicals who have worked in ICUs. And straightway he told, okay, you give me the names and I award them. And it so happened, straightway I asked from the commandants, okay, who are the officers or your staff who worked relentlessly in COVID crisis and in ICUs, and he straightway awarded them with CDS commendation. Not only that,
incredible,
further commendations from Vice Chief also, means he was really, it was an incredible act.
Truly, truly.
Not only that, last I went to his house also twice to discuss some very important things. Prior to that, I had been to Kashmir. I love Kashmir. I have stayed there for 5 years, and my daughter was also born there. With my daughter and her children, I went to Kashmir, stayed with the people in civil also, where we used to stay. And I came and discussed with General Rawat all the pros and cons about the progress in Kashmir. And he used the word, General Watts, if we soldiers don't care for it, if we don't take it so seriously, then who will in the nation?
Absolutely.
We must work for the progress of Kashmir. And soldiers have a right on that.
Yes,
because
yes.
we have given our blood.
Yes, yes, General Watson.
That is also perpetually.
And that's why I say that what happened today when we are...
That was his personality.
Absolutely. And when people talk about the pictures today, and some people are overwhelmed, some are saying it's unprecedented, I would only say, as I go across to Lieutenant General Madhuri Kanitkar, she's the Vice Chancellor of the Maharashtra University of Health Service, and she has also worked in service closely with General Rawat. She's joining us from Nasik. General Kanitkar, thank you for joining us. I was just saying to some of my colleagues today that the visuals across the country of people paying tribute and their final respects truly represent in a very simple manner what he had envisioned for the country. One unified India standing by one unified forces. And these visuals, therefore, a reality check for a few people. Over to you. Yes, General Kanitkar.
Absolutely, Arnab, you very well said. He stood for an integrated armed forces. In everything we did, he would always insist that we work together. And in every, I think I was very, very honored to be working so closely as the first decent medical since the CDS was formed. And we led the entire tri-services efforts for the COVID crisis that came in. And if ever there were any doubts, I think in one interaction with General Rawat, and he says, just don't worry, do it. And I mean, for me, it was a double because of my close association, not just with the General as a leader, but also with Mrs. Madhulika Rawat, because it was with her that I also participated as advisor to DAWA, which was the Defence Wives Welfare Association. And she was the epitome of grace, again, taking everyone together as a team. And I thought that was, I think I couldn't have had a better opportunity to contribute. Two examples that I'd like to share with everyone on a very personal level. One was when I went to General Rawat and I conveyed the difficulties which General Vats also said about our healthcare workers. Little did I expect that in the evening, without telling me, both he and the late Brigadier Nidar, another very, very dear friend, they got into PPEs from their office and went inside the 1,000-bedded COVID hospital without telling anyone. And it was only after they sort of interacted with patients, because in PPE, no one recognized them. But that is true leadership. And then he came out, I said, sir, why didn't you tell me? He said, chakachak karke rakh de. I mean, this was him, calling a spade, forthright, and leading from the front. The same thing when I approached Mrs. Rawat, I said, you know, if this is a war, our healthcare workers and their families need support. How can we do? She said, you tell me and we'll do. And when we discussed about giving them refreshments when they came out of their PPEs, she just opened her bag and said, first 10,000 is here, we'll look how to collect the rest. I mean, that was General and Mrs. Rawat. On one side, there was a firm, decisive, and strong, committed leadership. On the other side was Mrs. Rawat, total epitome of grace, tenderness, and working as a team. As in them, today, you have seen how the nation rose up, and one felt so connected because he always put that thing in practice of not just the nation first, the organization next. Every man mattered. He connected. If today everyone is outpouring, it is because he connected. It was not enough to be doing the work. I remember at one time during the COVID when we launched this Operation Koji, and I had so much on my hands coordinating efforts, but he passed instructions, just go and give it and tell the nation not to worry. They need something convincing. You can do it. And I remember coming on all the channels on his behalf to say that the armed forces is there and not to worry, because it was always otherwise negative sides. And in the same thing, I think today the nation rose up with that unified front to show that we are integrated in every way. We are one nation, one army, armed forces, and one people. So let us in tribute to him. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to give this salute to him again on your show.
Well, thank you for sharing it with us. And it's incredible, isn't it, General Kanitkar, that so many people from the forces, outside the forces, people from the world of media, everyone has a personal connect with him. And I think that is what made General Bipin Rawat so special. He had the human quality to bring people together. And I think it exemplifies in the way people came together. I want to tell you, viewers, yesterday the entire 50-kilometer stretch from Mettupalayam to Sulur was filled with people who chanted slogans, Bharat Mata Ki Jai, Veera Vanakam, which translates as salute to the brave. And they showered petals as the 13 ambulances carried the mortal remains. And I'm saying this today because this network only lives and breathes nation first. And today, 1,000 miles away from Delhi, people close their shops and businesses as a mark of respect. Can there be a bigger message to all the anti-India forces that their ploy to sow divide and incite against the forces will never succeed? This is a good statement against it. We are privileged today to have a fantastic panel. We have two course-mates, in fact, of General Rawat. We have General Ashok Shivane, who was his course-mate at the National Defence Academy, Khadakwasla. And we have Major General Neeraj Bali, who was his course-mate at the Indian Military Academy in Dehradun. So we have such a privileged, fantastic panel. I'm having to meet Colonel Pillai, General Khurana and General Dhruv Katoch. I'll come to you later. I'd like to dwell a little bit on the personal qualities and maybe some anecdotes that General Neeraj Bali and General Ashok Shivane, who would like to share. General Shivane, over to you first, sir. Would you like to share something? Your thoughts. Your friend has been laid to rest today. What are your thoughts, sir?
Arnab, thank you very much. It's indeed the last 48 hours have been very, very sad for the nation and personally for me, not only because Bipin was a coursemate, but both Bipin and Madhulika were family friends. But today, my heart was filled with pride, both when I went in the morning to pay my respects at his residence and at Barar Square. In particular, I must narrate to you that after the last rites, when I was coming out, I saw an old man, bearded, barely able to stand, stooping, who came near my car, and I stopped and I looked at him. In his left hand, he had the national flag, and in the right hand, he had Bipin and Madhulika's poster. And he looked at me. I was wearing my side cap and I was wearing my medals. And he said, Jai Hind first, and he said, Bipin Rawat ki Jai. That filled my heart with pride, not because what he said, because he conveyed what Bipin stood all his life for, nation above all. It was Jai Hind and then Bipin Rawat ki Jai. I mean, that is the spirit of this nation, to pay respect to its soldiers. It was amazing. My association with Bipin has been as schoolboys who after the school, both of us are army brats, after school we joined a National Defence Academy. And one or two incidents stand out very clearly. Bipin in the boxing ring, victorious eyes, blood on his face, never said die spirit. A fighter, a brave soldier, was very, very clearly visible. And he rose as a man, and I've seen him rise over the last 4 decades. One, with a straight spine, broad shoulders, large heart. He was a leader who was a man of steel, not a man of straw. He stood by what he wanted to say. He was not status quoist, he brought in transformation, and it was always nation first. In fact, if I would say, what were his core qualities as a coursemate which I saw through him? In uniform, out of uniform, serious mood, jolly moods. I would say character, competence, compassion, courage, and commitment. These 5 C's were abundant in him. Now, let me tell you a small anecdote of his. I was retiring in December 2017 as the Director General of the Mechanized Forces. And on 31st December, I was being given a send-off by the Indian Army, and Bipin Rawat was the chief. At the end of the dining out, you are carried in your chair by the generals of the Indian Army to the tune of Odd Lang Syne and chanting Jolly Good Fellow. Now here was a chief first and the coursemate later, who was leading there too, holding the chair, leading from the front, carrying me on his shoulders and singing Jolly Good Fellow. And this thought came to me today when I was attending his last rite and I lent him a shoulder. Such tragic circumstances, I could never ever imagine that I would have to respond with my shoulder in this
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, General Shivani, I can only imagine the... So.
Yes. So, having said that, I would say Bipin is a legacy who has left behind a great message for the nation, for all its leaders, not only the defense services.
I think I was just saying to our viewers that the image, what you just said, General Shivani, about that moment when he carried you on his shoulders, that visual actually is there. We were playing it. You see the visual, viewers? You see that moment? That clip just comes in here and we are showing it here. And a flood of memories when you go back 40 years. It must be 40 years, and General Bali, when he joined with you, when you were course-mates at IMA, you must have been just out of college, I presume. And, you must have, got your rank together.
Well,
and passed out together. So your thoughts, please, sir.
The fact of the matter is that I joined with him in the NDA.
Oh, NDA.
The story I might tell you is about the IMA. We joined the same course-mates right from the NDA days, along with General Shivani. But let me talk about the thread that has been running through this discussion right from the beginning when you started and Gaurav took over. There's been this outpouring of grief about General Rawat. He seems to have opened the floodgates of something that about himself, about as a man, as a soldier, as a symbol that many of us who admired him knew he had it in him. But still, I think this is a phenomenon. It is a phenomenon because this outpouring of grief appears to me indistinguishable on another level in its intensity from the pride and a sense of patriotism. This is a silent theme that seems to be rippling just beneath everybody's chest today. And I would go as far as to say, much as this is a day to pay all the tributes to Bipin and everybody else who perished in that unfortunate flight, it is definitely a day to pay tribute to them. But it is also a day of a celebration of kind because it is telling us who as a country we've become. We are no longer indifferent to our armed forces. Of course, we never were. I wouldn't venture that far. As somebody who served in the armed forces for 4 decades, we have been the recipient of a lot of affection all along. But this is something at a different level altogether.
True.
We seem to be coming together as a country. Last night I was with a very dear friend who also known Bipin for a long time, Brigadier Naidu, and he sent a message to me and said, we seem to have become a different country. I mean, suddenly it appears to us with the kind of people who have come forward and the number of people who have come forward. Now, let me go back to the anecdote. The anecdote may sound a little on a lower scale from what you've heard so far, but it will tell you a lot about his character. Now, back in the Indian Military Academy, the two of us were picked up to be what is known as stick orderlies, the guys who march in front of VIPs. And that happened because evidently we were good at drill. We looked alike, at least at that point, and we were of the same height. Now the academy assembles for the practice every day at about 6:30 for nearly 3 to 4 weeks. And it's bitter cold in Dehradun, as you know. We as stick orderlies were required to come at 6 o'clock or even earlier. And you know what Bipin told me on day one? He said, if you don't mind, we'd like to come at 5 o'clock. And I said, why on earth we would come at 5? He said, needed we are stick orderlies, we've got to have the standards. So we'll warm up and we do our own drill. And this is what we were doing in pitch dark. And I want to remind everyone that we were barely out of our teens. It's not as if we were great mature people with some innate sense of dedication, but that was his sense of dedication.
Incredible.
And I've seen this repeated time after time all his life. So this is what I would like to say.
Well, it's that's what they teaches you: discipline, dedication, commitment, courage, and putting the nation first and yourself last, which is also embossed at the Indian Military Academy. This is a theme. In fact, just taking the theme forward, I would say, as I go across to General Dhruv Katoch and General Khurana, and I shall come to you last. Sorry, Colonel Pillai, I'm just letting everyone, narrate their experiences. I think the theme is today, General Katoch, of it's not just the defeat of all anti-national forces who for long have derided the armed forces, called them cruel, perpetrators of atrocities. Today is the resounding defeat of all those who tried their level best to break the nation by raising anti-India slogans, questioning the integrity of the forces. So when General Bali says that a friend of his said it seems to be a different country, I would say, General Bali, to you, and maybe General Dhruv Katoch can take it forward, that in this country, politicians, others always tell us to fight over everything, even COVID. But you heard how General Kanitkar talked about how the country came together, forces came together during COVID. And I think that is both the beauty and irony of this moment. Over to you, General Katoch, please. Sir.
Thank you, Arnab. Arnab, the last 3 days have been traumatic, absolutely. And many thoughts actually passed through the mind. But one thing there are two things which I really wanted to say in your program.
Sir.
One is, when we are looking at the armed forces per se, the key factor to any armed forces, besides getting your equipment and weapons and training and all that, is really morale. And there are three things which create morale. One is the leadership which is given. And I think General Bipin Rawat, wherever he has served, he has provided that leadership element of morale, where he has got the troops to give of their best. The second one is camaraderie. Now, camaraderie has got many aspects to it, but it also means that you can get your subordinates, your colleagues, and your seniors to operate with synergy. And I think this is something which he brought to his job as the CDS, where he brought disparate elements together. We had the armed forces brought together, along with the bureaucracy, the intelligence services, and the political authority. And I think this was a very great achievement, achieving synergy of this level. And the third thing which which really gives morale to the armed forces, to all of us veterans and the men who are currently donning the colors, is support of your countrymen. Today we saw that support.
Yes.
It was out. In fact, we have been seeing that support since yesterday, and I think it really filled my heart with pride to see that level of support, that level of synergy coming from the people of India, from the length and breadth of India. In the morning, I was hearing the news. There were people who were interviewed, and they had said, we have been waiting 3 hours to pay our respect. And they were standing.
Yeah.
They continued to stand patiently. Now, I think that reflects, as very nicely said by the general before me, a new India. But there is also, in this really what has happened is, I think General Rawat symbolized the army. He was a symbol. This is the word you used in the beginning. It has been used by many people since then. But truly, he was the armed forces. And in that symbol, I think the nation paid their respects. There's one last point, Arnab, which I wish to give, and I think we need to acknowledge the ladies too. Today, I heard in the morning the comment by Mrs. Litter and also the comment by her daughter. It was a very emotional connect. The lady behaved with such dignity and grace in such adverse circumstances. I think it is an example to each one of us in the country as to how you can function under the greatest of stresses and strains and still remain above the rest. So to both Mrs. Litter and her daughter who spoke today, I think my very, very humble salute. And I'm sure that the nation will be inspired by your example of courage and fortitude.
Absolutely. I completely reciprocate your sentiment. And as I hand over, because we're running short of time, to General D.N. Khurana, and then after that to Colonel D.P.K. Pillai, General Khurana, you know, today people were mourning the loss of General Rawat in Baramulla, in Kupwara, in Keran, in Machal. And I must mention this, that how people came out. There were Friday prayers for him. I think that speaks a lot. I'd like you to take it forward. General Khurana, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Arnab. Arnab, I think your remarks are absolutely on the dot. In his death, he has left behind a country which was fractured, which was going in different directions. He's left it united. To say that it is from Baramulla and all the way down to south and all the way to northeast, I do not think any occasion in the recent memory where this could have happened. This has happened because of his personality. This has happened because of his courage of conviction. This has happened because I think he carried the credo of the academy. All of us who pass through the portals of the academy, in the Chetwood building, there are those famous 3 sentences. The welfare, honor, and safety of your country first comes first and always and every time. The safety and welfare of the men you command comes next. Your own safety, welfare comes last, always and every time. And I think he symbolized it in his lifetime, and he has symbolized it today in his death. The man went through all the operational contingencies, every counterinsurgency, every operation he fought, and his chest shows today that he carries the long list of decorations on his chest. He was a thinking general. He was a strategic thinker, yet he would listen to the others, but he had his courage and conviction. It's well known that he spoke his mind. Sometimes people will say that was not political, but he spoke his mind, and I think that's what made him closer to the people. And I must give full credit to the media, people like you and others, who gave him that platform to say what he really meant from his conviction. But at the end, I would also like to say, I think we seem to be, and all that we've heard is very much of a person. But I think the task, the mission that was given to him as a Chief of Defence Staff, the first Chief of Defence Staff, is extremely important to talk about. It was a very difficult mission. You know, you try and bring out a change even in a small organization, you face a lot of difficulties. And here was a mission given to him to put the 3 services, independent, autonomous services in their own right, bring them together, create a spirit of jointness, create integrated commands, bring out the best for the future warfare. The future warfare is not going to be the one that we fought the last war. He had his mind in the future warfare, while he was quite sure that today he had a job to defend his country. He made it clear in his speeches, in his remarks to our enemies, that we were not going to withstand, we will not tolerate any nonsense. If they would, well, they got their answer. And I think all this reached the people through the media, and people loved him. And it makes me, my chest filled with pride today, that the army has regained, because of this one commander, one general, the glory that the army deserves. The army belongs to this country, and army is prepared to give the last blood for the country.
Yeah.
I lost my younger brother in 65 war, and I remember I was given a day off to go home, and my mother said, son, get back to the job. We will take care of the rest.
Wow.
That is the kind of army that we are.
Unfettered
and I'm very
devotion.
glad that the country today has given that honor.
Yes.
Country has displayed it, and he has well deserved it. And in the process, he has brought us closer to the people.
Yes, sir.
He carried his voice with the government. He brought us closer to the bureaucrat, which was a grip always with the services. And I think all the credit goes to him, and he's become a national hero. And he's left a symbol behind for the youth of this country to emulate and to sort of look up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Unfettered devotion to steadily face combat. That's what he represented. Defense prepared at all costs. As he said, we need to take the bull by the horns. We need to strike the root cause. When he spoke about our relation to other countries that sponsor terrorism, Colonel D.P.K. Pillai, Shaurya Chakra awardee, had a special relationship with General Rawat. I'd like to close with you, sir. Colonel Pillai.
Thank you, Arnav, for having me on the show, and also to be able to. Firstly, you said about taking the bull by the horn. I totally agree with you. One of the things that what you've seen today, these unprecedented sentiment and tributes that have been pouring in, is something that he's earned. And he's earned because he was the man who changed the narrative. If you see, after 26/11, we were, hesitant in our response, and, we left us very disheartened. Even in the armed forces, we felt very bad about, the question that was asked was, is the country ready to pay the price? Whereas General Rawat changed the narrative. He took the fight into the enemy's territory. If you see whether it happened in the Coast Brothers strike in Myanmar, or what he did in Doklam, when he stood up to the Chinese after 87, we'd not seen that kind of a standoff, and he actually changed the narrative. And one of the reasons that he was actually selected was for the firm, decisive actions that he was capable of taking. And a lot of people talk that he's a counterinsurgency expert, but the moment he donned, after the chief's tenure, he donned the CDSS, the first CDSS channel, which was a hard-fought one for 20 years. There was nobody willing to take the decision on, and it goes to the credit of this government that brought to action the recommendations made by K. Subramaniam Committee and tabled by L.K. Advani, which demanded that we should have a CDS. And the fact that he immediately, his role as the CDS, we all assumed he was an infantryman, he was incapable. There was a lot of naysayers who said that he's not capable, he's a political appointment, which is ridiculous to call an army officer's appointment or a general's appointment as a political appointment. You can't blame that Manik Shah was political because he won the war for 71. Army is in the business of winning wars for you. It fights your wars, and that's what General Rawat was adept at and good at. And the way he changed the CDS, he got as the first CDS, just like, it's so important to put the thing on track. It's like what Sridharan was to Delhi Metro. CDS has completely outwitted everyone by understanding what is required of this 21st century war. He was JFC Fuller, he was Guderian, he was Patton, he was everyone rolled into one, because he understood that this war, this army, the armed forces today, we are looking in the rearview mirror, fighting at World War II era models. As a chief, he understood that the integrated battle groups were the way to go. These structures were designed today when the sensor to the shooter is integrated in one instant. You can have, he came up with the idea of doing up with this division headquarters, and he had integrated battle groups, which is far ahead of its time in terms of understanding what is the requirement. And even in theaterization of those things from 17 different commands, he came up with these specific commands. He understood how you could harness information age technologies to your advantage to transform our defense forces into truly, and that's the reason why the people have come here. He's earned his place in the pantheon of heroes that this country looks up to.
Absolutely, Colonel Pillai.
That is something.
I would say one thing in conclusion. Firstly, the last 45-50 minutes of this conversation have given us a lot of opportunity to reflect on the person as well as on the forces. And it has, I think, for everyone watching tonight, it gives us a lot of hope and confidence. For General Bipin Rawat, I think the best tribute to him will be to modernize, incentivize, get the best machines for, strategize, and maximize the coordination between our forces. Let's build the strongest, best coordinated, most modern, future war-ready military that any country can have. That would be our best tribute to General Bipin Rawat. And ladies and gentlemen, in case you missed it, the final journey of General Bipin Rawat We have a special broadcast that starts on the other side of the break on the last journey of General Bipin Rawat, Mrs. Madhulika Rawat and Brigadier Leader. That and the complete coverage is on the other side. For now, goodbye.
He's a jolly good fellow, he's a jolly good fellow, he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny, which nobody can deny.